All right, cool. So we're live. So we are back from our 2 week break. It's supposed to only be 1 week, but I ended up needing to take an extra week off to do the Ruby Newbies, due to a new job starting last Monday. Actually, I started last Tuesday, but regardless, this is week 6, and just want to get you guys through the introductions because I know a couple people had reached out to me in the last 2 weeks asking about the group and questions. More than likely, we already had my contact information, but this is me, and that's my information. And we're just going through the Odin project and specifically the Ruby group, the lessons. If you guys haven't had the chance to go to the Odin project, I recommend you sign up. And it's just not just Ruby; it's also a Rails section. There is HTML, JavaScript, jQuery. It's all good stuff. So yeah, definitely highly recommend going through this with us. If not, you can always go back and watch the previous videos and get up to speed. It's a self-paced curriculum, so there's no reason for you not to be able to catch up or go on at your own pace if you are just starting in the first week with anything Odin. But yeah, feel free. And then we also have a website where I kind of collect all the information, put it all up in one area, which is rubynewbies.org. So what I am going to go over today, it'll be quick. If you were here 2 weeks ago, I mentioned we're going to fly through the rest. The first 5 weeks, we kind of just ramped up and started getting through the learning. But it seems like the rest of the curriculum, aside from the final project, shouldn't take too much time out of your hands. Most people will probably spend about 15 hours a week studying. You should easily get 2 to 3 sections out of the way within the first within those first 10 to 15 hours that you're going to be working on this. So I did want to go do a bit of a code review on some of the solutions. And first solution, I'm going to go ahead and skip tic-tac-toe. I highly recommend that you guys go through, if you aren't comfortable with coding your own code to make tic-tac-toe work for you. Go through this. I actually went through it, and it actually is some very good information. It also kind of brushes up on testing, which we haven't got to yet. But definitely take a look at that. But I did want to look at Alan's solution. I really liked his solution and wanted to share it with you guys. Hopefully, Alan, you don't mind, since we went ahead and you went ahead and posted it. So just kind of, so for those of you who don't know, I did start a new job, and I've been doing quite a bit of different things that I haven't done before. One thing I've been doing a lot more of is reading code. This is one of the best ways to learn code is by reading it. So I've taken the opportunity to learn how to read. So when I went through, I thought maybe reading through Alan's code would be it is Alan, right? Yeah, Alan's code, it would be a great opportunity for you guys to sort of figure it out. Yeah, just looking at it, pretty basic. He's got a README file, which helps. So tic-tac-toe is how you play tic-tac-toe. I believe it's taken from the description. He might have wrote this himself. Here are the general descriptions. I kind of wasn't really sure, but yeah, went in the tic-tac-toe file, and then you see require relative here. This means that he's using some other information from other files in order to make this actual initial file, the setup file, and everything start for you. But let's just go ahead and, before we start reading it, actually, I wanted to, I cloned his repo. And so, oh, sorry, we're not doing tic-tac-toe. We're doing mastermind. That's why I'm so confused. All right, sorry about that. I wanted to look at Alan's mastermind file, which now you can see, okay, and there isn't a README on this. But it's pretty much the same thing. His main file is what he's calling, so, or where he starts most of the code. But before we look at it, I wanted to run it and show you what he's got going on. So he actually approached it quite differently, not quite differently, just differently from what the assignment called. They wanted to call a color, but he's doing numbers, which is actually pretty much the same thing. The code works the same. So, do you want to crack a code, or sorry, do you want to make a code or crack a code generated by a computer? I'm just going to go with crack. Oop, crackle. Did it twice. All right. Cool. All right, so you have 4 tries. So you have to do a 4-digit number, and the computer will, it's going to be 1 through 6. I think the rules are here. And we'll do this. And it says if you've guessed the correct position and number, then you'll get a black bag. If you correct none of them, get a white bag. So it looks like one of these numbers actually work. So you have 3 white bags, which means that 3 numbers are right, but in the wrong order. So let's try 6, 5, 4, 3. Probably get 2 white bags. Oop, got a black bag. Oop. Yeah, it looks like I got a black bag and a black bag. So I think 4 goes there. 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's probably 4, 3. No, that's not it. 1, 3, 4, 6. 3 white pegs. That's interesting. But yeah, this is the gist of it, and I can solve this later. But I love this. This is a great brain teaser, and I think he approached the problem pretty swell. Let's look at his code. So this is the file I called, and this is what I was talking about, trying to learn what's going on by the code. So we know he's using these files. So if we don't understand something, we will always go to one of these files to better understand it. So he's initializing the CPU, which in the instructions, it asks for you to have a computer. I did notice something that I didn't know that I could do until someone told me at my current job. But just, oops, let me get this out. His spacing actually is off, so I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but I guess what most people use is intent using spacing in tab with 2, and you can actually set that in your preferences here. So if anybody ever asks you, and I used to get this all the time when people used to review my code, if they ask you why your spacing's off in GitHub, it's more than likely because your defaults are not the same. So yeah, you definitely want to change that to 2. But let's look at this code, and actually Sublime makes it a little easier to read. So yeah, he's got initializing. There's a private method about how to call a new term. And then we also got some more information about the computer. And the game starts once you initialize this, and all this stuff is initialized. That's the first message that we got. So if we choose make, we get a different type of mastermind a game. So we're going to either make a code. So then we get to pick our 4 numbers, and then we can crack a code. So he's got all that built in. And I thought this was actually laid out. I mean, you guys can actually probably read this on your own, but I thought he approached the problem well. His code's laid out really well, and it's calling between each files. In each file, I think actually, so we only got 1 class, which is mastermind, which makes it object-oriented. And then we've got different methods within this little, sorry, what's this file? So that hip chat just distracted me. So, oh, sorry, just point out his setup game is all within his initialize file. So within the mastermind, I think he calls setup. What does he call setup? yeah, here, setup game, and the new turn is here. So what I did actually this week, and I just wanted to bring it up, I had to actually implement the gibbon gem. Actually, I didn't implement anything. I actually had to add a feature. No, it wasn't a feature. It was a bug within MailChimp. And basically what we did, me and a colleague of mine, we had to walk backwards to figure out how MailChimp actually worked. And this is the code for MailChimp. Doesn't really tell you much of anything, really. So we actually had to walk backwards and try to figure out how this MailChimp, so we were getting an error, and we found out that the error accesses two attributes were code and name. But what we found out later was that code and name actually are two things that are not created until, it's going to be hard for me to backtrack completely, but it was something that was implemented very differently than you would expect. But yeah, it's just, I guess, the benefit of refactoring and having a lot of people contribute to this particular gem, 29 contributors. So just wanted to walk through some code with you guys. Not going to walk completely through Alan's code and pick them apart completely, but I just wanted to say, he did a great job, and I really liked using his particular instance of this mastermind. I did see that some people actually implemented the colors with a gem, which I don't have the gem offhand, but did want to go ahead and move on to the next code review. And what I'm trying to do is, I put in a transcript. Looks like if you guys go to codenewbie.org, I've got I also have a recommendation for watching a video, which is, oh, you know what? Yeah, this video within the transcript. I'll put in the link, and it's in the comments, I believe. But you can view the transcripts, which you have access from rubynewbies.org. This video, it's pretty good video about someone who learned code on her own, and actually no, she went to the Flatiron School. Anyway, she has a group that she reviews code with on a weekly basis. So it's probably approach some of you guys, see if anybody's interested in doing more reviewing code on a regular basis, rather than this writing code and getting stuck. It helps out a lot to read and see what's going on in certain things. So if anybody's interested, look out for a request from me in the future, because I think it's a great way to learn. So moving on, let's get back to the lessons. So that's it. I mean, we went through the object. I explained more about the object-oriented section weeks ago. You can watch a previous video. But I did want to go over one of the examples for the file and serialization, which was Hangman. This event manager, it's a step-by-step tutorial, so didn't really want to review that because we're all probably going to, I think more than likely we're going to look pretty much the same. And it's pretty in-depth, those tutorials for Jumpstart. So, but I did want to look at, now I don't remember whose code it was. Oh, James, there we go. So yeah, I was in James's code. He has, actually, again, let's just go ahead and run it. And we could get that, awesome. So, we can new game or load game. Let's do computer, which just makes it so much easier to explain. So try to solve it. So, yeah, he's just got the basic game of Hangman. And within his README, which is awesome, he explains that there's no Hangman, but you can still play the game the same way. So he's got a very in-depth README, which I do appreciate. And this is his file that we just called. Obviously, we don't know anything about start, but we know that hangman.new is a game. But we don't know anything about Hangman. But we can just go ahead and backtrack into his lib, and I'm going to guess Hangman is here, and he is obviously recording some different files, so just trying to be pretty object oriented and not just throw all your code in one huge file, which is very appreciated. So that's his class right there, and there's that start that we're looking for. And yeah, some pretty good stuff here James has got. Since there's nobody else on the call, we'll go ahead and end it there. He does have it's funny. He does have, sorry, hold on. Thought I was going to sneeze. No mute button. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, he's calling from files, which are his words, which I think he's got a dictionary here. Yep, dictionary file. So if you guys went to the file section, then you'll know that his dictionary he's got here, and you guys can walk through that if you haven't done the code yet, or feel free to share your examples. But that's it. That's all I wanted to go through. You guys have any questions, I definitely feel free to reach out. I actually watched that video also that I recommended, because she, I think her name's Saren. She goes on her approach of how to read code and how she originally started reading code and how it was wrong and how they changed it. So yeah, I highly encourage you guys to read some code. And we're actually, from here on out, we'll just be reading code and going over the lessons and talking about some pretty cool things. So if you guys are available, feel free to reach out and join us on a future Hangout. That's it.